As Jim said, I'm Adam Tracy. I'm an attorney, and I'm glad to be here tonight. I appreciate everybody coming out on this very hot Wednesday night. What I want to do is take a good 30 minutes here and kind of run you through the process of foreclosure, some of your remedies for foreclosure, and some of the different defenses and tactics that attorneys and other people are using to defend against foreclosures. So without further ado, I'll start you off with a little legalese. Legal information is not the same as legal advice, the application of law to an individual's specific circumstances. The general information presented during this public service event is not intended to be construed as legal advice, nor should it be used as such by any person attending this event. Any legal question you may have regarding the content of this presentation or your legal rights should be addressed by a duly licensed Illinois attorney. That said, why are we here? About 2.5 million homes have been repossessed since 2005, and another 6.5 million mortgages are in foreclosure and may soon be. So the foreclosure problem is a widespread problem. It's a problem that's affecting every state and all throughout the country. And similarly, nearly 1/4 of all mortgaged homes are underwater. That is where the outstanding loan balance exceeds market value. So you have a two-pronged problem here. You've got a rash of foreclosures, and you've also got home values dropping precipitously. So people are not able to afford their homes, but at the same time, the value of their homes are dropping drastically. And you may be one of the millions of people facing foreclosure due to personal hardship. And this hardship can include job loss, sudden illness, divorce, excessive debt, you name it. Anything that's preventing you from making your mortgage payment in a timely fashion is a hardship. And many people are facing it in this tough economy. The good news is that you're not alone. Nearly 1 in 10 mortgages in the 100 largest metropolitan areas are seriously delinquent. So again, this is widespread, and it's getting worse, folks. It's definitely getting worse. People are falling behind their mortgages all throughout the country. So, and specifically in Illinois has the 10th highest number of foreclosures in the country, with 33,000 foreclosures in the first quarter of 2011 alone. And I see this number growing. I think the problem's getting worse here before it gets better. Now, what is foreclosure? Foreclosure is a legal action to force the sale of a home, a lender repossession, caused by failure to make payments. Now, if you're a homeowner who is currently facing foreclosure, or you've already been served with foreclosure papers, important legal rights are at stake. If you don't act quickly, you're going to lose those rights. So it's very important that you pay attention. And I'll go through the phases of foreclosure in Illinois, and this will give you some sense of what rights you do have and what the timing is in regards there too. Now, when you're 30 days late, a homeowner will receive a letter from the lender advising that they did not receive the payment. When you're 60 days late, homeowners will receive a second letter from the lender advising them that they did not receive the payment and need to remit payment soon in order to avoid foreclosure action. Now, at 90 days late, things start to get serious. This is where the homeowner will receive what's known as a notice of default. And this is a letter from your lender advising that they did not receive payment, and a file has been forwarded to an attorney to initiate a foreclosure action. And after that, the foreclosure action begins in months 4 to 8, okay, and it varies. Under Illinois foreclosure law, foreclosure is begun when a lender makes public notice that they intend to initiate a legal proceeding. And this notice is called the lis pendens. This is a public notice that your lender is coming to foreclose upon your house. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to when this happens. Once the lis pendens is filed, you'll be served with a foreclosure complaint. And that foreclosure complaint will give you 30 days to respond to the complaint filed with the court. Now, you have two choices. You can either respond or you can fail to respond. If you respond to the complaint, okay, then the lender must prove their case in court. You are then entitled to question whether or not the lender has the right to foreclose on your home. So it's essential that you respond, okay? It's absolutely essential that you respond if you've been served with foreclosure papers. Because if you don't, the lender, by default, is awarded a judgment. That is, you've never put the bank to its paces. The lender didn't have to prove anything. You failed to appear, and the lender was automatically awarded a foreclosure judgment and is given the right to foreclose on your home. So it's very, very, very key that if you are served with foreclosure papers, you take immediate and direct action. Once a foreclosure judgment is awarded, the lender publishes a notice of sale 2 weeks prior to the sale date, and the sale happens and the eviction occurs 30 days thereafter. But your problems don't end with the foreclosure. If your house sells for less than what you owe the bank, then the bank may be awarded what's known as a deficiency judgment. Okay? Once a deficiency judgment is awarded, now this is a money judgment. This is a judgment that in Illinois can follow you around for 20 years or more. Okay? This is a judgment that says you owe the bank a certain amount of money. And with the depressed value of homes, this can be a lot of money. I've seen these. These are hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it also gives the lender the right to collect that money. And they can collect that money in a number of ways. They can garnish your wages. They can levy your bank accounts. That's when they go into your bank accounts, take all the money out to satisfy the judgment. And this can go on for years. If you think about it, those judgments are hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how long is it going to take if they're garnishing your wages to come up with $100,000? Plus interest is running on that judgment amount. So it's very, very significant. The problem doesn't just end with them taking your home. It can follow you for many, many years. The good news is you do have some options when facing foreclosure, and I'll go through them individually, but they are repayment, reinstatement, forbearance, you can sell the property, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, federal foreclosure help programs, loan modification, and you can choose to fight your foreclosure. The first option is repayment reinstatement. And this is making a lump sum payment or receiving a fixed amount of time to become current with your payments. But there's a number of challenges associated with repayment and reinstatement plans. Number one, the financial circumstances may prevent this option. Now, if you're already having difficulty making your mortgage payment, it's most likely that you're going to have difficulty paying the arrearage or the amount that you're behind in your mortgage. So these programs rarely work. Second, you have limited time to act. In most cases, any sort of repayment plan will be limited to about 6 months. So if you're 6 payments behind, you'll have 6 months to make your current payment in addition to the additional payment that you already missed. Very difficult. And finally, the penalties will include late fees and attorney's fees. So you're not just paying your regular mortgage payment, you're paying your regular mortgage payment plus late fees, plus attorney's fees, which can run in the thousands of dollars. So it's radically different than what you initially bargained for. If your mortgage payment's $2,000 a month and you're 6 months behind, it's not going to be $18,000. It's going to be $25,000. It's going to be $30,000 because those payments and fees can really add up. The next option is a forbearance. And this is a temporary agreement with the lender that allows delayed payments for a limited period of time. This is where you simply stop making payments for some period of time. Number of challenges again. The homeowner must be able to prove that they will acquire the funds. So you must have a lump sum coming, you must be able to prove that. So a tax refund, okay, an abnormally large tax refund at that, or some sort of bonus that you can quantify and prove to your bank. The routine payment schedule will restart after the temporary period. This isn't a loan modification. This isn't going to help you long term. This may help you get back on track, but it's not going to lower your payment. So if you're having problems with payments prior to entering into a forbearance agreement, you're probably going to have the same problems after the forbearance agreement because your payment didn't lower. It just went away for a short period of time. And obviously the skipped payments are added to the loan balance. So in many cases, your mortgage payment may go up because what happened was you missed, say, 3 payments. Well, they took those 3 payments and they added to the principal of your loan. So now they're calculating interest in your monthly payment on a larger amount. So that payment's actually going to increase. So forbearance agreements, while great for some people, don't always work. Your next option is to sell the property. That's just simply selling the property in the open market. Number of challenges again. The current Illinois real estate market conditions are poor. Everybody's trying to sell their house. Everybody's trying to sell their house. The banks own tons of homes that they had already foreclosed on and they're trying to sell. The market's just flooded. Again, large inventory of homes for sale. It's a buyer's market. There's so many homes out there. Prices are depressed. People are out there looking for deals. Buyer financing is very limited. People can't qualify for mortgages today, okay? It's very, very difficult, if you've looked, to qualify for a mortgage. Across the board, credit scores are down, and lending requirements are up. It's very difficult to get a mortgage, even with decent credit. And finally, most Illinois homes are upside down in equity. Problem is, you can't sell your home if you wanted to, okay? As I stated in the beginning of the presentation, the value of homes have dropped so much that most people owe more than what the home's worth. And that enters into a short sale situation, which I'll talk about, but it makes it very, very difficult to sell your home. The next option is what's known as a deed in lieu of foreclosure. And this is when a homeowner voluntarily conveys title to the property to the lender. This is akin to just dropping the keys off at the bank. You're simply giving the house back and you're walking away. A number of challenges. There's a potential for a deficiency judgment. So just like with the foreclosure, in many cases, a bank will want a deficiency judgment. That is, even though you give them the house back, they'll still say, you owe us X amount of money, and they'll come after you for that money if you don't pay them. Credit damage. It has a poor effect on your credit. It's going to hurt your credit. It's injurious to your credit. And potential tax consequences. In some instances, where there's a forgiveness of debt, the IRS will hit you with the bank will hit you with a 1099, and the IRS will say, you owe us X amount of money for the forgiveness of debt. So you may be thinking you're walking away because you don't owe the bank any money, but you turn around and you actually owe the IRS money. And quite frankly, I'd rather owe the bank than the IRS, but I guess that's another presentation.